Hello guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to install Python in your system and install all the necessary tools and set up the environment and everything that you will need to follow along in this lecture. We will start with setting up the environment in Mac and then we will move on to Windows. But before we move on, I just wanted to let you know that this video is a part of my hands-on Python for beginners playlist, which is designed for absolute beginners. So if you're someone who's starting to learn Python, if you're starting on your Python journey and looking to build a career in data science, this playlist might be for you. So we are going to cover everything that is needed for you to master Python, right from the absolute basics to learning industry relevant skills that will help you land a job. So with that being said, let us get started with the video now. So in order to install Python in a Mac operating system, there are many different ways you can install Python directly by going to python.org. Okay, you can go here and you can install Python. In fact, before trying to install Python, if you're on a Mac, it is a good idea to go and check if Python is already installed in your system, because older versions of Mac used to come with Python installed. But even if it is installed, we are going to follow the steps that I'm going to show you, because the way we are going to do it, it will make your life a little bit easier, especially if you're beginning, especially if you're starting out right now. So just type Python here and see. For me, it is saying that command not found Python. So if you're on a Mac, usually Python command does not work. You need to write Python 3. And if you see here, I have Python 3 installed for some reason, but I'm anyway going to ignore this and we are going to do a fresh installation. So again, like I said, there are many different ways of installing Python. So if you're watching different videos, many different people might suggest you different things, but and all of them are valid, but I'm going to show you one method which is going to be very easy and convenient for you. So we are not going to use this python.org. We are not going to come here and install it, but if you want to install from here, just go to downloads and click on this Python 3.13.6 and it will install Python in your system. But we are going to use a distribution called Anaconda. So Anaconda is a distribution in Python which will help you get started fast, and you will not have to worry about different commands. So you can worry about that maybe later when you are a little bit proficient in Python. So just because we are starting right now and you are a complete beginner, it's a good idea to start with Anaconda. And Anaconda is something that a lot of people will suggest you to get started. So Anaconda, maybe Python. Okay. So the first link that appears on Google is anaconda.com, and if you go here, it says you'll come to this website, and if you click on skip registration, it will take you to the download page. Now Anaconda has two versions. One is called as Anaconda and other is called as miniconda. So miniconda is a lighter version of Anaconda, which will take less space in your system, in your hard disk. So Anaconda comes with lot of libraries pre-installed, and in fact we will not need those pre-installed libraries. We can install them as and how the need arises. So instead of using Anaconda, we'll use miniconda. So miniconda is fast, it is lightweight, and it will help us get started very quickly. Okay, so you see here it says miniconda installer, and there is an option to download for Mac. Because I'm using Mac OS, that's why it has automatically detected and it is giving me option to download on Mac. If you're on Windows, you will see option to download for Windows here. If not, you can come here and you can see it will give you some option here. So I'll show you how to install it on Windows later. First, let us do it on Mac. And if you have prior experience of installing softwares in your Windows system, this process is going to be completely same. But anyway, I'll show you the process for Windows later. So we'll come here and we'll click on download for Mac. You will see two options. One is called as download for Apple Silicon. You're going to use this method if you are using M1, M2, M3, M4 chipsets MacBooks, or if you're using the older version of MacBook which used to come on Intel chipset, then you can click on download for Intel. So I'm using a Apple Silicon chipset Mac, so I'm going to click on download for Apple Silicon, and it is going to download a file here. Okay, so just click on save, and I've already downloaded that. So, and anyway, it's not going to take much time, it is only 100 MB. I've already downloaded that, so I'm going to just double click on that, and you'll see here uh, there's an installation wizard that has opened, and just click on continue, click on continue, click on continue. Okay, agree to everything. Okay, and okay, install for all users of this computer, that is fine. Click on continue and click on install. It will ask you for your system password, and it will take a moment to install. Okay, so the installation is now complete. It says installation was completed successfully. So it has installed Miniconda, and it is giving me a prompt to download the package that I downloaded. I'm going to keep it. Okay, so now if you come here and if you write conda, it says command not found because I need to restart the terminal. So I'm going to close this terminal. Okay, and I'm going to start the terminal again. And now when I start, you see there is something called as base written here. So this means that Conda has been successfully installed. Now if you are using Mac, and again if you are a beginner, you might be a little bit confused you seeing these colors. So this is some customization that I have done for you. These colors may not be there, but what you will find is before your name you will see this base, which means Conda is successfully installed. What this base means we'll see later, don't worry about it. And just to verify whether Conda was successfully installed, just write Conda, okay, and you will see some message like this. Okay, if it is not installed, you will get a message called command not found or Conda not found, something like that. In that case, there something went wrong. But if you follow the steps that I showed you, most likely there will be no glitch. Okay, so just I'm writing clear here, and you can also try, I think, Conda version maybe. Okay, yeah, it says Conda 225.5.1. Not that it is any important. So once we are here, we have installed Conda. Now we need to install an IDE. So IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Am I right about IDE? Integrated IDE coding. Integrated development environment, yes. Okay, so it is basically like when you are writing, making presentation. So you go to a PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint, or if you want to make some designs, you go to Photoshop or something. So similarly, when you want to write a code, you want some kind of environment, or you want some software that will allow you to write code in a very convenient way. You can write code anywhere, but usually we use IDEs. So there are a lot of different IDEs, popular IDEs. So some of the common IDEs that we are going to use in this course is Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab. They are alternatives to each other, and PyCharm. Now, if you ask me what are the common IDEs that are used globally, the most common IDEs are PyCharm and VS Code. So these are different IDEs. Many people have their own preferences when it comes to IDEs. But for the sake of data science, if you're learning Python for data science, the most common IDE is Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Lab is a improved version of Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so we have installed Conda. The next step is that we are going to install Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and once we install Jupyter Notebook, we'll have one environment ready. So again, if I come here and if I just write Jupyter Notebook, it should give me it should give me some error that Jupyter Notebook is not found. So I'm just going to come here and say Conda install Jupyter Notebook. Now, if instead of miniconda, if we had installed Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook would have been installed by default. But we used miniconda, which was a lighter version. So Jupyter Notebook does not come pre-bundled. So we need to install it separately, which is completely fine. Just run this command. And it is saying if I accept the terms of service. So it is giving me an option of accepting. So if I press A, that means accept, R means reject, and V for view. So I'm just going to press A here. That means I'm accepting the terms of conditions. Okay, and again it is asking me to accept something. I'm just going to click type A and press enter, and it is now installing Jupyter Notebook for me. If it is asking you to proceed or agree, okay, it will give you options like Y and N, where Y means yes and N means no. So I'm just going to write Y. Okay, so it is now installing Jupyter Notebook for me. So this will take some time. Just wait for maybe 30 seconds. Okay, so we have installed Jupyter Notebook now. So in order to run Jupyter Notebook, just write Jupyter Notebook in the terminal and press enter, and it will start Jupyter Notebook session in your in a local host, whatever is your default browser. Okay, so don't close this terminal once Jupyter Notebook is running, and you will see this kind of a screen that opens up. It is opening on your local host port 8888. Don't worry about this. If you're able to see this screen, that means Jupyter Notebook is running successfully. Okay, now this is like your home folder. You will see all your folders that you have in your home folder. I will suggest that create a new folder. You can create it in your Finder, or you can create it here as well. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to write new folder, and I'm going to say Codevera Python. Okay, so I've created a new folder here, and if you go to this folder and just click on new, and I'm going to let me lower myself 1 second. Okay, yeah. So if you go here and just click on Python 3 IPY kernel. So if you click on this, it will open a file for you. So this is where we are going to write our code. This is our Jupyter Notebook. So if you see here, there is a branding of Jupyter Notebook. And the file extension is IPYNB. So when you make files in Microsoft Word, the extension is doc. If you are creating some text files, the extension is txt, right? If you create a PowerPoint, the extension is PPT. Similarly, when you are writing code in Python in a Python notebook, the extension is called as IPYNB. So I'm just going to rename this and I'm going to call it Hello World. And we are going to do the very sacred ceremony of doing our first Hello World. So just write whatever I'm writing. I will explain this, of course, in the upcoming lectures. But just for the sake of uh, starting out and writing the first code, just write print and then write this parenthesis. Okay. Start a bracket and then write double quotes, say hello and world. Okay. And then just hold on to shift and press enter, or just click on this button. Okay, so once you click on this button, so this is the line of code, your first line of code if you're starting out in Python, and click on this button and it is going to print hello world here. So you have successfully written your first line of code in Python. Congratulations. Okay, so this is about Jupyter Notebook. There is a version of Jupyter Notebook which is called as Jupyter Lab. So some places you might see people using Jupyter Lab. So let me see if we can install that as well. So you will see me using Jupyter Lab. So just so that you are familiar with it, let us open a new terminal here and let us write Jupyter Lab. Maybe it got installed when we were installing Notebook. Let us see. If yes, then okay, great. So this is Jupyter Lab. You see it is very similar to Jupyter Notebook, but slight differences are there in terms of the interface. And there are a lot of different advantages of Jupyter Lab. I don't want to get into those at this point, but just know that Jupyter Notebook and Jupyter Lab are two different common IDEs that Python developers use, especially Python developers who are interested in data science. In fact, if you're learning data science, you have to use Jupyter Notebook and Jupyter Lab. Okay, so here again we can open the folder that we created using Jupyter Notebook. It was called Codevera Python, and you see there is already a file here which is called as hello world.ipynb. So we have created a Python notebook. IPYNB stands for IPython notebook. So before earlier in earlier days, Jupyter used to be called as uh, IPYNB. Okay, so the extension came from there, and then the name got changed to Jupyter, but the extension name is still IPYNB. So if we open this, you see your first line of code is here in Jupyter Lab as well. So you can use Jupyter Notebook or you can use Jupyter Lab, whichever one you prefer. Both of them are completely okay. Okay, and I'm going to show you one more place or one more method of writing code. Suppose if you're using some laptop where you're not allowed to install any new software, so you can just go to Google, okay, and just write Google Colab. Okay, so Google Colab is a cloud hosted notebook environment. So if you write Google Colab, you will come to this kind of a screen, and you can just click on new notebook here. Okay, you need to be logged into your Google account. And if you click on new notebook, Google will kind of spin up a machine on their cloud server, and they will give you a similar environment as Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so here also you can see there's a file called untitled. So here also I'm going to write hello world. Okay, and here I'm going to come, and here also we can okay, I think you need to click on connect here so that you can get connected to a machine. And in the meanwhile, let us write the code. I'm just going to write hello world. This is my first line of code in Colab. Okay, so once you see a green tick mark here, you can come here and just you can click on this button here, and if you press this button, you see your code has been printed. So you can use Google Colab also for all your Python coding, especially in the initial lectures. And you can also use Jupyter Lab, or you can use Jupyter Notebook. So if you're using Mac, this is how you set up your first Python environment. We are also supposed to install one more IDE, which is called as PyCharm, but we'll see that later. Okay, I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of things right now. So if you have installed this Jupyter Notebook, you are now ready to start coding in Python, and you can follow the lectures from here onwards. So in the next video, we will look at, first we'll explore this Jupyter Notebook environment. We'll understand what are these different buttons and what they do and how to start writing code. And then we'll start with the introduction to Python or basics of Python. So this is all about installing or getting ready with a Python environment in your Mac. So if you're using Windows, you can follow the same steps. You just need to download the installer for Windows and then just install it. And if you open your terminal, you can write CMD in your run command, or just open terminal and just write conda. You will see some response here, just like how we got the response here. Just write conda Okay, you will get this thing, and then you can follow the same commands, same steps that I followed here, but you will use in your Windows terminal. I'll try to get a Windows system and try to show you the same steps, but if I don't, still I think it should be pretty intuitive. So this is all that I wanted to show you in this video, and in the next video we'll start exploring the Jupyter Notebook environment. Thank you. So here I am now in my Windows environment. So I'm just going to follow the same steps. I'm going to search for Anaconda, and let me go to this website, and here I'll see the option of free download. I think if I go to download Anaconda distribution, I'll directly land on the page that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to click on skip registration, and I'm going to click on, and you'll see it will give you an option to save the file. So I have already downloaded the file. It is a .exe. So let me go to this .exe file here, and let me start the installation. So installation is happening here. It will give you an installation wizard. Just click on next. I agree, and just go with the default options. This is where your miniconda folder will be installed within your users directory. So there is no need to change any settings here. Just go with the default settings and just click on install. It will take a moment to install. So it is installed. Now I'm going to click on next, and then just click on finish. So once you're done, you can come here to your search bar, and I think if you search here for Anaconda, you will get an option for Anaconda prompt. So this will kind of open the terminal for you, the similar terminal that we had in the Mac demonstration. So I'm going to click on that, and you see it is opening up a terminal for me. I'm going to come here and just write conda. You see again here also you are seeing this base. So this base basically means that you are in the base environment. We have not discussed about environments right now. We'll do that later. But we are in the base environment, and we can come here and we can also run the same commands. We can do conda version. Conda version. Sorry, I think I misspelled it. And you can see we have the same version, conda 25.5.1. Okay, and now what we can do is we can try to run Jupyter Notebook. I think it is not installed. Let me just write the command and see. Okay, it says that it is not recognized. So what we can do is we can just do conda install Jupyter Notebook. So it will take a moment to install Jupyter Notebook. So again the same process. I'll press A and then press A, press A. Okay, I'm going to proceed. I'm going to type Y and press enter. You can see here it is installing Jupyter Lab as well. So once we are done, we'll not need to install Jupyter Lab separately. Okay, so now Jupyter Notebook installation is complete. Let me try running the same command again, Jupyter Notebook, and hopefully it will start a Jupyter server on my local host. Yes, that is happening. Okay. So you are again seeing the similar screen that I showed you in the Mac demonstration. Again, you are having this root folder open here, and this is the same folder as you will have when you go to the Windows Explorer. So this is just mirroring your normal documents folder. Okay, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a new folder here. Again, I'll create a new folder called Python, and I'm going to double click on this, go inside this directory, and I'm going to create a new IPython notebook. I'm going to write here again. Let me rename it. Let me call it hello world, and I'm going to come here and just write print. Okay, and you have written your first line of Python code in Windows as well. So this was a demonstration for Windows users, and similarly if you're not able to install all of this, you can also use Google Colab, but I will recommend have a local installation of Python. So I'll also show you how to install PyCharm in a later video, but this is all for you to get started with installation of Jupyter Notebook and Python and Conda in Windows, and you can follow all the lectures from now onwards. So I just wanted to show you that the file that we have created, this is not only within the Jupyter environment. This file is actually stored in your system. So if I go to your Explorer, you will see here there is a folder called Codevera Python. So this is the folder that we created within the Jupyter environment, and if you double click on this, you will have this ipynb file here, which is called as hello world.ipynb. So if you want to write some code and then you want to share the files with someone, that is also possible. They will be able to open this in their own environment. Now, so if you want to run Jupyter Lab as well, you can come here and open a new Anaconda prompt here. Okay, and just come here and just type Jupyter Lab. Maybe it will open up Jupyter Lab as well. I think it was directly installed when we were doing Jupyter Notebook, and yes, it is opening up Jupyter Lab for us. So you see, this is Jupyter Lab for us. Okay, so here as well, if we go to our root directory, and you see we are able to open this folder here, and you see this is the notebook that we created, and you can in fact make changes here. You can again write one more line of code, paste it here, run it. Okay, if you save it, you will have this command here, and when you come back here and if you refresh in Jupyter Notebook, I think we'll have to save it here. You can see the changes that we made in Jupyter Lab are shown in Jupyter Notebook as well. Again, I said both of them are similar. You can choose any one of them, and the third option that you have is Google Colab. So that is all I wanted to show you in terms of installing, getting ready with your Python environment in your Mac and Windows systems. So see you in the next video where we will start exploring the Jupyter environment. Thank you.